Got a low-end PC, but tired of playing the same old games? In this video, we're diving into 10 most criminally underrated gems that run smoothly on modest hardware. Whether you're into action or RPGs, these hidden treasures deserve a spot in your library. Let's uncover some overlooked greatness. On the number 10 spot, we have the Risen Trilogy. The Risen Trilogy is like the spiritual successor to Gothic, gritty, immersive RPGs where every choice feels weighty. You start as a nobody washed ashore, and the game throws you into a world full of factions, exploration, and tough combat. Each game has a distinct setting. The first is a rugged island with ruins and magic. The second shifts to pirate adventures, and the third dives deep into soul-stealing demons. Don't expect hand-holding. Combat is challenging, and quests often have multiple solutions. It's rough around the edges, but if you love freedom and exploration with a touch of old-school RPG vibes, these games are worth your time. On the number 9 spot, we have State of Decay. State of Decay is like a mix of zombie survival, base building, and management. It's not just about killing zombies, though you'll do plenty of that. You have to gather resources, rescue survivors, and keep morale up while managing a community. Every character has unique skills, and if they die, they're gone for good. The world feels dynamic. Supplies run out, threats grow, and every decision matters. It's less about being a hero and more about staying alive and keeping your group together in a world that's falling apart. On the number 8 spot, we have Lord of the Rings: War in the North. Lord of the Rings: War in the North is an action RPG that puts you right in the thick of Middle-earth's brutal battles. It's not the usual story with Frodo and the One Ring. This time, you follow 3 new heroes fighting a parallel war against Sauron's forces in the north. You can play as a human ranger, an elven mage, or a dwarven warrior, each with unique abilities. The combat is heavy and satisfying, with lots of loot and skill upgrades. It's perfect for co-op, but even solo, it delivers that dark, immersive Lord of the Rings vibe. If you're into hack and slash with a rich fantasy world, this one's a hidden gem. On the number 7 spot, we have The Amazing Spider-Man 2. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is an open-world action game where you swing through New York as Spidey, fighting crime and iconic villains. The web swinging feels smooth and satisfying, letting you zip across the city with style. The story follows Peter Parker balancing his personal life and superhero duties, with encounters against characters like Electro, Kingpin, and the Green Goblin. Combat is fast-paced, similar to the Arkham games, with a mix of punches, counters, and web abilities. It's not as polished as other Spider-Man games, but if you're a fan of the character and love open-world adventures, it's a fun ride. On the number 6 spot, we have Sleeping Dogs. Imagine GTA, but set in the bustling streets of Hong Kong with a heavy focus on martial arts. That's Sleeping Dogs in a nutshell. You play as Wei Shun, an undercover cop caught between loyalty to the police and his connections with the Triads. The story is gritty and emotional, and the hand-to-hand combat is a highlight. Think fluid kung fu moves mixed with brutal environmental takedowns. There's also driving, shooting, and plenty of side activities like street races and karaoke. It's a sleeper hit that never got the love it deserved, but it's an absolute must-play if you're into open-world games with a unique vibe. On the number 5 spot, we have Batman: Arkham Origins. Batman: Arkham Origins is a prequel to the whole Arkham series. It's set during one chaotic Christmas Eve, when a younger, rougher Batman is hunted by assassins. The combat feels fluid, same as the other Arkham games, with that addictive punch-counter rhythm. The open world covers a snowy Gotham, and you'll do a lot of detective work, solving crimes and tracking villains. While it didn't get as much love as Asylum or City, it's still got a gripping story, introducing cool characters like Black Mask and a younger Joker. If you're into Batman, it's a solid, underrated part of the series. On the number 4 spot, we have Dead Island. Imagine being stuck on a tropical paradise, except it's crawling with zombies. Dead Island is a first-person, open-world action RPG where you scavenge, craft weapons, and bash your way through hordes of the undead. You pick one of 4 survivors, each with unique skills, and fight through beaches, resorts, and slums, trying to stay alive long enough to escape. It's got melee-focused combat, so expect to break a lot of weapons on zombie heads. The story isn't groundbreaking, but the co-op mode is where the real fun shines. Team up with friends, and it becomes pure chaotic fun. On the number 3 spot, we have Assassin's Creed 3. Assassin's Creed 3 drops you into the American Revolution, playing as Connor, a half-native, half-British assassin caught between both sides. It's a mix of stealth, combat, and free running, where you climb trees and buildings just as easily as scaling cliffs. The story explores freedom, betrayal, and shifting loyalties, with historical events like the Boston Tea Party woven into the gameplay. There's also naval combat, yet commanding your own ship and battling on the high seas. It's not the smoothest game in the series, but if you're into history, open-world exploration, and epic showdowns, it's a ride worth taking. On the number 2 spot, we have Remember Me. Imagine a futuristic Paris where memories are bought, sold, and even altered. Remember Me throws you right into that world. You play as Neeline, a memory hunter with the power to remix people's memories, which is as cool as it sounds. The story is a mix of action, mystery, and sci-fi, with a sleek atmosphere. Combat feels like a blend of Batman, Arkham mechanics, but with a twist. You customize combos to fit your style. It's not perfect, with some linear sections and repetitive fights, but the unique premise and emotional story make it a hidden gem you shouldn't miss. Finally, on the number 1 spot, we have Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance is a high-octane action game that flips the script on the traditional Metal Gear formula. Instead of stealth, you're thrust into fast-paced sword combat as Raiden, a cyborg ninja. Picture slicing through enemies with a katana in a beautifully crafted futuristic world. It's like being in an anime fight scene. The gameplay is fluid, with a unique mechanic that lets you slow down time to line up precise cuts, making every encounter feel intense. The story is filled with over-the-top moments, political intrigue, and philosophical themes, all wrapped in a visually stunning package. If you enjoy stylish action and a bit of crazy storytelling, this game is an absolute blast. Alright guys, that is all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, then please consider giving it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more content like this, then consider subscribing to help support the channel. Also, feel free to let me know what videos you would like to see me upload next. Until next time, happy gaming,